All right, guys, this is the NTA of Mahmoud Khalil, the permanent resident who was detained and then held by ICE at an undisclosed location. It might be a little bit difficult to read. This is actually part of the public record because it's available on Pacer. Okay. It says you have been admitted to the United States, but are removable for the following reasons. And then it says you're not a citizen or national of the U.S. You're a native of Syria and a citizen of Algeria. You were admitted at an unknown place on or about unknown date in an unknown manner. Your status was adjusted to that of a lawful permanent resident. In other words, they know that he adjusted to a permanent resident in November of 2024. And then 4 is important here. The Secretary of State has determined that your presence or activities in the United States would have serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States. And then it further cites 237A4C1 of the INA. And that the Secretary of State, again, has reasonable grounds to believe that, your activities would have potentially serious adverse consequences. So this is it. These are the charges against Mahmoud Khalil. And it's pretty weak, right? First of all, the information is vague and incomplete. Unknown place, unknown date. There's no factual basis. There's certainly a lack of specifics here. I would argue due process violations. People in removal proceedings have the right to, due process. The only stated charge is 237A4C, which allows, removal if someone thinks that they threaten if the Secretary of State believes someone threatens U.S. foreign policy. This is super broad, super discretionary, and it lacks, clear evidentiary standards. So you just, again, the violations of the due process, there's no factual evidence, it seems like, that's been provided to justify this claim. Looks like it's definitely a politically motivated removal. If I'm the attorney, I file a bunch of motions here asking for that evidence, right, against my client. I think he's going to beat this because, this is terrible, right? This notice to appear. However, he's detained and his attorney will have to file a motion to get him out on a bond or without a bond of detention, and it may or may not be granted. And so the really big issue here is that even if his attorney has relief available to beat this deportation, because they are trying to revoke his green card, the problem is that he might be detained until this is finalized. This could be a matter of years. So yeah, this is it. We've got the notice to appear against Mahmoud Khalil. Not great on behalf of the government. Seems very speculative. I would file a motion to terminate due to a lack of factual allegations or an insufficient legal basis, right? However, again, bad news is he's detained and might be detained, for the pendency of the proceedings, depending on what the judge decides to do.